Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of IIT India's Walk the Tech Talk series, Season 2 in association with India Automated. In case you have missed out on any of our previous episodes or episodes of Season 1 of Walk the Tech Talk series, then please do check them out on IIT India's YouTube channel. Before we begin with today's episode, I would like to give you a sneak peek into the world of the IIT. The Institution of Engineering and Technology is one of the oldest and largest professional society for engineers. Soon to turn 150, our mission is to engineer a better world. Our areas of focus include future technologies, future of mobility and transport, and future of work. In case you would like to become a member of the IIT, all that you will need to do is send us an email at indiamembership@theiit.in. All right, without further delay, I am going to call on your host for this series, Mr. Pranjal Sharma, on stage to introduce our speaker guest today and also the topic of discussion. Hi, Pranjal.
Hello, Johnny.
Over to you.
Thanks, and welcome to everybody for this episode of Walk the Tech Talk. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that we're going beyond the shores of India to a country which is known for technology and innovation. So let me now invite Itai Green.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, Itai. Shalom and namaste to you.
Hi. Shalom from Israel.
So where are you? In which city are you based, Itai?
I'm on a suburb of Tel Aviv, 10 minutes from Tel Aviv.
Excellent. We've been reading about what you do, and it's a fantastic task that you do in terms of helping the innovation, not just in Israel, but taking it global as well. Can you briefly introduce what you do at Innovate Israel?
Yes, Innovate Israel is a company that consult big corporations and governments, helping them to innovate with third parties. It is quite, most of the companies now are familiar with the terminology of open innovation, which is based on the understanding that most of the smartest people are not working for this specific corporate. It's a matter of statistics. And after a company really realized that most of the smartest people are not working for them, then they're looking for partnerships with those smart people, which in many cases are in working for startups. And in Israel, as you know, we have many startups. So the idea of big corporations that are really looking into innovation is to know how to work with those startups and get value out of that. And that's what I do. That's what we do. We help those governments and corporations to get this value and be much more updated and very fast. And after the COVID-19, it is really something that any big corporate and medium corporate needs.
So, Itai, the concept of open innovation and of technological development requires a lot of collaboration. But traditionally, there has been a problem that big companies don't want to share their intellectual property, and small companies and startups are worried that their best ideas are taken away. How do you create the atmosphere to make sure that they can work together?
So the first thing is really the basic understanding, deep understanding of the big corporations that they have to partner with third parties. Once they really understand and realize that they have to, they find solutions. They find the way, the best way to collaborate without having this fear of IP issues and so on, which are solved by by the lawyers, by the legal departments. And the main challenge is really to change the state of mind of the corporations that they have to work with third parties. This is the challenge. And I agree with you, it's a challenge, but it is something that is we can overcome because most of the smartest corporations these days realize that they will not partner, they will not be with us anymore, because the rate of technological change is so fast and is accelerating, and they have no chance to really compete with other companies unless they collaborate, unless they partner with third parties. They cannot really rely only on internal R&D, only on internal resources. That's a huge mistake. So in Israel, yes,
if I can ask you about the sectors, innovation and technology with startups can be from food technology to logistics to medical technologies to robotic process automation. Everything has a positivity. In your experience, which are the sectors where open innovation has been most successful?
So I'll surprise you, but any sector has a room for innovation. It's not only a room, it's a must to have these open innovation processes in any domain. In any domain, there is a need for efficiency, and efficiency is a must these days because we're facing a global recession in all countries, I think, and efficiency is something that you can achieve only with technology. But it's also accurate to say that you can get a lot of and see a lot of innovation in those areas of food, of agro, of service. Any corporate that has a service with clients, B2C relationship, has a huge potential with technology to improve it, to provide their clients with a better experience, with much more efficient experience. And by the way, innovation is not only for efficiency, is also in order to increase revenues, because with innovation you can get new products, new services. So it's not only you can make it more efficient, you can also make more money, which is something everyone is looking for.
The core for innovation today, and as you mentioned that in emerging markets or in the developed markets, some of the problems are common, but the core objective of innovation is to solve a problem for society, which of course needs to have a business model around it. Can you give a couple of examples, a success story that you were very proud of, where open collaboration and innovation helped solve a problem for the society?
Yes, I can give you some examples. I'll give you, for an example, for insurance. One of my clients in the insurance space was looking for innovation, and after 35 pilots in 1 year, 35, it's quite a lot it's an insurance company of only 3,000 employees. So after 35 pilots with different startups, they found great technology that helps them with an AI, artificial intelligence, to improve their back office processes. And with this, they also improved their clients' relations. So this insurance company clients were able to get a better service. And for the corporate company, for the insurance company, it costs much cheaper, all these processes. This specific startup is called Digital Owl, that with AI can turn a process of reading hundreds of papers into 1 second process, because everything is automated, and provide with a clear answer and summary of hundreds of papers just in a second. So it's without mistakes, human mistakes, and it saves a lot of money, and it saves a lot of people, and at the end of the day, it provides the clients with a better service. That instead of getting an answer from this insurance company for a specific claim, after 2 months, they get the answer in a day or two. So this is a kind of example that with good technology, you can really improve a lot So this is
So
just.
I have to ask you about India and scale, because you are very proud of the startup ecosystem in Israel, and there is very good reason, because some of the best innovations have come from Israel. But you are a country of 9 million people. But today, what we see that when you collaborate with a country like India of 1.3 billion people, scale becomes important. And not just about a country like India, but also the situation of COVID, where every solution around COVID is not just about one country, it's about the world. Now, how do you suppose can innovation and collaboration and open innovation technologies solve problems at large scale? It can be industrial IoT, it can be medical issues. Do you see that happening in the next few months or years across the world, starting from Israel?
Yes, we definitely see during the COVID-19 that companies that it took them maybe a year to work with a startup and get to a successful POC, it takes them these days few weeks to do so. So there is a real understanding of the urgency that it's really important and valuable. I can give you one tip for any big company and even small, medium companies in India. One of the biggest problems and obstacles to implement open innovation is the state of mind of the board. Because in many cases, in most cases, the board members don't really understand the value of innovation and open innovation. So most efficient way to overcome this obstacle, this challenge, is to add at least one board member who is younger, who is familiar, specialized with innovation and technology. Otherwise, there is a real gap of knowledge around the board. So you cannot really expect the board members, when the average age is 60 in most cases, to really understand the value and how to do it right, how to really innovate right, how to work faster. Why is it important and urgent to work with startups? And according to my experience, and by the way, not only according to my experience, according to MIT research, when you have 3 board members with that are specializing with innovation and technology, the bottom line, the performance, the business performance of the corporate is by far better than its competitor. So this is a very simple step to implement, and you will see the results very fast, because once you have those people around the board, suddenly the board is speaking, discussing what are the updated challenges, what is innovation for, what kind of budget should we allocate. Suddenly the board meets startups. So suddenly everything moves faster. So it is really a simple step with a huge impact. In Israel, it is mandatory by law to have at least one board member alike in each and every bank board, each and every bank. And the governmental companies are aiming to have 20% of the board members below the age of 40. So I think that these are simple steps, huge impact, and now is the best time to implement it. And after you do it, you see the results.
That's a great idea. I think we will recommend it to Indian policymakers also. You bring the age down, and at least there is dynamism in that. My final question to you, Itai, is that startups have to be advised to think big. And I was talking about that in terms of scale. Don't look at a market of maybe 10 million people or 20 million. Think about global scale. Do you think that startups have to change their thinking in terms of thinking big and delivering big problems and big solutions for those problems?
Israeli startups, they have to think big. Israel is a small market. It might be good for a small pilot, but not more than that. India is a great destination for Israeli startups. You speak English, it's a huge country, it's a great opportunity. And I must tell you that the real thing is that once a corporate or a government know and publish its challenge, big challenge, entrepreneurs are coming. That's the state of mind of an entrepreneur. When they see a challenge, they go for it. They are looking for a solution. So the challenge for the corporations is to share their challenges. Once they share, they will be, I mean, my clients are always surprised that when they share their challenge, they find suddenly amazing solutions, amazing technologies, great entrepreneurs. And in Israel, we have many great entrepreneurs and many serial entrepreneurs. So the real thing is tell these entrepreneurs, what are your challenges? It's halfway for the solution.
So before we go, I can't resist asking you one more question, which is, in the next 24 months or so, what would be the 3 most important technologies that will dominate industry and business and innovation?
Wow, it is such a difficult question. I can tell you that we see at least in the health business, we see many solutions for remote medicine, remote health systems. We see many new technologies that are pivoting for homeland security to the travel industry in order to allow travel be open and again. We see many new technologies in the food and agro. These are areas where you see a lot of new innovation coming. I think the COVID-19 give a significant push for these industries. And again, it's all a matter of state of mind. Once you share, and in Israel, there's a lot of sharing. I mean, people are always looking for collaboration. It's a matter of culture. When people are collaborating, and this is something I can recommend, at least from my experience, when you share, you get better performance, better solution, and better bottom line for the companies. So share, collaborate. This is so much important for everyone, for the startups, for the government, and for the big corporations.
Itai Green, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Tech Talk. I think you summarized it very well. I think sharing, collaboration, and focusing on a culture which ensures that you work together is the way ahead. Thank you so much once again for being with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Shalom.
Shalom.